What's up YouTube? My name is Will from Bag Riders, and we're here to talk about used air suspension. If you're thinking about making the leap off of your coilovers and getting onto some air, perhaps you've been enticed by some deals you've seen on the forums or on social media for used air ride. Are those deals tempting? Absolutely, but they don't come without pitfalls, and those are the pitfalls I want to discuss with you as a potential first-time air ride buyer. Is it worth it to buy a used air ride kit? And honestly, it depends. How was it treated by the previous owner? And that's the single biggest factor in determining how long will that used kit last for you as the new owner. It's hard to know at face value just looking at a photo online of whether that kit is going to last or whether it's going to break down quickly and leave you stranded. In front of me, I've got a coworker's new to him but used Volkswagen Slam Series strut, which actually utilizes a nylon upper bushing as opposed to the pillow ball bearing or spherical bearing in the upper mount of the Performance series. While those work well at doing their job of separating the road from the cabin, they also are a wear item. They will absolutely wear out. If you are purchasing a used set of Slam Series, go ahead, follow the link in the description and replace those before you get them on the car. The same can really be said about the sphericals. If you talk to other people who have them, you probably are aware the spherical bearings won't last forever. They're $60 per corner. And the point I want to make to you is go ahead and replace those sphericals before you've completed your install of your whole used kit. If you put it all on there, put that energy into it, drive it around, and those end up being loose, you're going to have to pull them back out, spend the $60 per corner, install those sphericals. Just knock that out up front if you're really committed to buying a used kit. And again, link in the description for both the nylon Slam Series upper rebuild kit and for replacement spherical bearings. Another factor is technical advancements. Has a manufacturer started off with one design and over time has that design evolved to be better? If you're going to be buying used, how do you know that the version you're buying is the most up-to-date version? In the case of brands like Airlift or our in-house brand Superlow, whenever possible, we incorporate a radial bearing. And if you've been watching this channel for the last year, you probably are aware that I yammer on and on about the importance of a radial bearing. That's just one example. How do you know for sure that the product you are buying is the most up-to-date version? Just because it fits your vehicle doesn't mean it's actually the most cutting edge possible choice that's the equivalent of what you'd be buying new. What I said earlier was the single greatest factor in knowing the real value in a used kit is knowing, did the previous owner treat it well? And I want to give you a real world example with monotube dampers. So with the monotube damper, inside you actually have a plastic bump stop, which is there to prevent it from topping out. And topping out is basically when the metal components have been extended as far upward as possible and they're at risk of slapping off of each other. That's an example of a part that will wear out if the previous owner abused it by topping out. The scenarios where that would happen where it's fully extended are, when the car is on a lift, which is no problem. But what we're really talking about is if the previous owner was driving around in a topped out condition, especially if they did so frequently. Some guys receive the package, open it up, and immediately feel the need, which is something I don't quite understand, to thread this overall length to be shorter. Perhaps it's the belief that this will help them go more low, which in a lot of cases is not correct. The issue with making a blind adjustment like that with having no idea what you're trying to accomplish is you actually lose stroke. Most of these brands, if not all of them, will come out of the box pre-threaded to the appropriate length for your vehicle. After you've tested everything and test fitted your wheels and your tires, you may want to make some minor adjustments, but that's not something you're going to want to do right off the bat. I bring this up because if they've been driving around topping out continuously, it's going to actually flatten out that protective internal bump stop. So what once looked like this will now look like this. Yeah, it's okay to have topping out scenarios occasionally when the car is on the lift, for example, it's drooping down all the way and that's fine. But if you're driving around and continuously flattening out that bump stop and getting a metal on metal impact, you're gonna end up with blown dampers and you're gonna have to replace the entire damper body, which is definitely not the position you wanna be in if you're already trying to save money on used equipment. While I'd love to be able to give you an exact mileage that once reached, we know those struts are near the end of their usable life, but it's just not that simple. We don't know, once the previous owner got those struts, were they using them in the proper range, or did they make some drastic adjustment to them? And were they taking good care of them when they were driving on them? If a person doesn't know what topping out is, they really don't know what steps to take to avoid it. Another important aspect is warranty. If you buy a full system from Bag Riders and you have some sort of a failure with either your suspension or your management, you've got a phone number to call and you've got support, and we will take care of you if one of those items fails, especially if it's something that's covered under the manufacturer's defect warranty. It should come as no surprise to you that if you're buying used, you have no warranty. You are your own level of protection, and you might need to set aside a little bit of extra money to replace some of those parts because not all of them will last. Am I biased? Maybe a little, but the point I'm trying to make is that all dampers, factory or aftermarket, are all a wear item that are not gonna last you the entire lifespan of your vehicle. Should you go out and buy used tires or used subframe bushings or used control arms? You certainly could. People do that sort of thing all the time. But any of those items are some portion of the way through their usable life when you first get them. That's the trade-off you need to evaluate. Is the money saved worth the diminished lifespan of the product and the complete lack of a warranty? Hope you've enjoyed this video and found it interesting. Maybe answered some questions you have before you make the big purchase of a used air ride setup. My name is Will. You can reach us anytime on bagriders.com through the handy chat feature, or you can drop a comment below. If you liked or hated this video, let us know. Peace.